But if you're gonna live your life like that, if you're gonna do your business thinking like, what does your client want, then I think like, it will go wrong. So,
hey queens, yeah, you know who you are. God, come on, go ahead and put that crown on your head. Now tilt a little to the left, now a little to the right. Perfect. Now let's get to work, because we know you got big goals and you got big dreams and not afraid to let them know. Why? Because you step into your purpose, you speak out on your faith, and you shift up in your journey, because you a boss. Welcome to the podcast Drop the Inspired Act with your host Belly of QueenBayGoals.com, reminding you that you are a queen before anything else. It's your life and your goals. Make it royal. All right, y'all. Go ahead and work that crown. Hey, Queen Bays. Welcome to another episode of the Drop the Inspired Act podcast. Today we have with us Kirsi Englund from Finland, which is our first European guest, you guys. So you guys get to be nice because we're all the way in Europe now. So Kirsi, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm the first queen of Europe. So fun. I'm so honored to be here. Well, the first thing that comes into my mind is, of course, that I'm a mom of two. I have 8 and 9-year-old, wonderful and wild kids, and a puppy who's now turning 1-year-old. So he's not a puppy anymore. And a lovely husband, of course. And like I said, I am living here in Finland. And I have been an entrepreneur for 5 years now. I am an intuitive coach, Reiki healer, yoga teacher. I'm holding retreats. I just wrote a book also, published author officially. Yeah, pretty much there, I think.
Oh, I love it. So author, entrepreneur, coach, I love it all.
Yeah.
So this season, you guys know we're talking about royal goals. And I let the guests say which goal that they think they felt they were in that royal chart. And when I read Kirsi's profile, I said, that's definitely my real goals person. But that is not what she picked. So let us know which one you picked in the royal goals chart.
I don't remember exactly those words, but I think it was the last one, the one with like, I have big goals.
You chose ambitious. So can you tell us what the ambitious goals were that you have done in your life?
Yes, what I have done or what I have in my mind?
Well, what you have done or what you have in your mind either.
Okay, well, already now, since my 5-year entrepreneurship, so I have grounded a yoga studio. Then I have, like I showed you, I have written a book and gone through all these Reiki healing practices. And now I'm on my way on this practice of Reiki 3. So I'm going to be a master teacher so I can teach these Reiki principles to others because I love to teach. I like to call myself actually like a spiritual teacher. My former profession actually was a Waldorf school teacher, class teacher.
Okay.
So it's like I have been a teacher always. It's just like now I get to teach things that really matters to me, that are close to my heart. But okay, that's what I have done so far, and I'm really proud of myself. And I actually published the book also in English. I have an American publisher. So that was one of my my big goal that I actually did that. I had the courage to do that because as you can hear, English is not my mother language. So that was one big goal that I'm really proud of. But I would like to be like widely known international entrepreneur, international bestseller author, international spiritual teacher.
Put it out there.
Yeah. So it's not enough. It's not enough for me yet. I'm still hungry.
Put it out there. You got to go after those things that you want. I love it.
Exactly.
So let's go back into your yoga studio, because I love your story. You said you had started it and then it wasn't going so great in the beginning. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Well, actually the story, when it began, it was like a miracle, since I had asked from the universe, like, hey guys, can you help me out with this? Like, I'm wanting this and this kind of studio with this and this kind of rent. And I got it, but I actually got it an even better studio that I had ever imagined. I was like, whoa. And like, it was really cheap rent and everything was just like flowing and all these signs keep on coming. And I'm like, whoa, this is it now, like really. And actually, I was just being ready as a Kundalini yoga teacher. So I did not have any client base whatsoever. I started from the scratch, and with all these signs coming, so I was so sure that, okay, now like this is gonna explode, like clients will just start to roll in the classes, but no. I think my first class I had 2 participants, and then it was many classes the first year that I had 1, 2, 3, I think 4 was my max, or maybe 5 the whole first year. But I didn't give up. I continued, and little by little it then grew. But the thing what made me realize there, I think it was there about after 1 year, when I was kind of like disappointment in me and like sad, and why it doesn't go, since God gave me all these signs and this beautiful place, and like why it doesn't start rolling. So I started to doubt myself like really much, and I started to question myself, like, okay, am I doing now wrong something? Am I not good enough? Like, and all of this, like, all records started to play in my head. But yeah.
I love it. So I want you to get into, because this is why I said real, because what was that change for you in your business that those clients started rolling in? Because that's why I said it's real. So you're gonna get into that.
Yeah, I checked. Yeah, that was my first. I was thinking I should have to breathe here in the middle before I go into that. Yeah. So the moment we actually go back in time, I was on one luxurious yoga retreat, and it was actually a Kundalini yoga retreat in Turkey, here in Europe, in Alanya. And that retreat was held in like luxurious 5-star hotel. And just like when I came into that hotel, I felt like a queen. I felt like, oh my God, what a place. And that was the first time ever I was like 1 week away from my family also. So I was in paradise. And of course it was all inclusive. All those nice fancy dinners and wine with food, because I love wine, I drink, I eat meat also, which is not the typical yoga teacher, but I am a bit rebel. So there I was, I remember like at one dinner, like I was sipping my wine and eating that delicious, beautiful food in a 5-star luxury hotel. And then I just realized, like, this is me.
Right.
This is who I am. And this is what I enjoy. And this is what I love. And when I decided to bring that person into my yoga studio, so then things started to happen. Because I could admit to myself, like, okay, I am maybe a bit different yoga teacher, but I am anyway a yoga teacher. There is no rules that can't like say how you should be or what you can eat or drink or. So that was my turning point. And after that, things started to get better.
I love it. I love it. See, that's why I chose real, but I know your goals are ambitious, but I'm like, this is so real that when you started to show yourself, like your business just grew, because that's what it was waiting on. It was waiting on you to show up as your authentic self. So I love that.
It was. And it's so important. And that's now what I'm teaching to my clients as well.
That's awesome.
And my slogan actually is be you, be real.
See? I was like, it's everything points to that.
Yeah.
So I love it. So how is your business now? And then how do you think you're going to try to grow that?
Like, what are your ambitious goals for your business?
Actually, this is really a fun story, since I just now in the summer, I closed my yoga studio.
Okay.
But that was not because of things were not going well. I could always blame on COVID. I could always blame on different things, but this is not how it actually went. Because me and my husband just grounded a company together. It's called Golden Journey.
Oh, cool.
And we are actually going to move to Spain also here. I don't think it will be this year, it will be somewhere next year. So we have like really big goals, not only like me by myself going big, but we together are gonna go big and international. Yeah, so there's many pieces. And then I was having like serious discussions with myself, because of course, first I was thinking about all my clients, like how they gonna now feel I'm gonna leave them, and but if you're gonna live your life like that, if you're gonna do your business thinking like what does your client want, then I think like it will go wrong. So I had to do like a kind of like selfish conclusion and just like say I'm sorry, but like I love this. I still love teaching yoga, and I'm holding my yoga retreats once in a month here in Finland. By the way, they will be in Spain also, 2022 luxurious yoga retreats. They are coming, but at the moment I'm holding them in Finland, so people can still come and do yoga with me. But it's just now in that retreat center. Yeah, but anyway, so I realized I have to let go of something to welcome new and even bigger things.
Right, I love
and
that.
And here I am speaking with you now in an international podcast. So
yeah, now we're international, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna be looking for you in 2022, because I like to go back and see where the guests are. So I might be bringing you back in 2022, and you're gonna be like, all the things that we talked about happen, and you're just living in it.
Exactly. I can't wait, because I see it already coming.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So you kind of already gave us the quote of the podcast. Because the guests are giving the quote of the podcast, and yours was be you and be real. So why is that the quote for your business? Why is that something that you believe and live by?
Because I by myself have had really many difficulties with it. Like I have always been really, really insecure, and like always getting really nervous about things. Actually, just before we started, I was also a little bit like, okay, podcast. Like I have to really like ground myself and calm myself down. And it's like just sitting so deep, these kind of feelings like, what are people gonna think of me? What are people gonna think of my accent? And blah, 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 blah. So I've had really long road with it, and especially with my fifth chakra. Actually, you can read the whole story in my book, so I'm not gonna go into details here. But yeah, I have had it really hard, and when I could admit to myself, like little by little, like baby steps, like I mentioned that story in that Alanya hotel, 5-star hotel. And when I could like admit little by little who I am, I just understood how important it is. It's the most important piece for you to be you and be real, because always if you try to copy someone else, or if you try to please someone else, do or say things what other people are expecting from you, that's the wrong road, I think. So it's always about being the authentic you and being real, and also that you can show it to others and speak your truth, really.
I love that. So where can my guests find you online if we're looking for more about how to be real and be ourselves, and your book?
Yeah, it's my website. You can maybe have it somewhere written since it's quite hard, but my name, Kirsi Englund .love, so LOVE in the end. And there you can find everything. There is even a free 7-day e-course about finding your purpose. So you can have a free access to that. And there is all the links. You can find my book on Amazon and a bunch of other stuff.
And you guys, I'm going to put all the links in the show notes so you don't have to go searching for it. It's all going to be there because you guys are going to go grab this up. So I'm going to close out the podcast, and I want to do it with this insert from her book, which I loved. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I won't.
So it says, being free means no more hiding, no more lying. It's about showing your true colors to the world and being at peace with your true self. It's about being a rebel and breaking the rules when necessary, especially the old rusty ones. I just love that when I saw it.
Breaking the rules, and especially now in this moment, I feel like the whole world is in that chaos, and like we are building the new world and like going into the new golden era, and just like now more than ever, it's just like time to break all the old rusty rules and break free, be rebel.
Right, I love it. So you hear that? We need to be rebel, guys. So make sure you come back and listen to this podcast. Make sure you go and get all her links in the show notes. So be down below, and find her book on Amazon, A Path to Nirvana, A Real Journey Towards Freedom and Inner Peace.
You can show it once more. There you go.
That's what it looks like. So that's the right book if you see that on Amazon. Thank you, Kirsi, for coming on the podcast today.
Thank you so much. I'm honored.
All right, you guys. So make sure you come back in for the next episode.
You have been listening to another episode of Drop the Aspiring Act. If you're looking for more information on this podcast and other episodes, please visit queenbaegoals.com. That's QueenBaeGoals.com. All right, y'all. I'll see you in the next podcast.